stick with me till today. The Hillary Gardee story.
Yeah, talk to us, Muti.
Yes, there's an update on the Hillary story. We have other separate videos that we've done before, so we're just gonna do a bit of an update of what we've heard, what we've read. Yeah, there was an article in Sunday Independent. They gave us an update.
Yeah.
And then to discover that, what happened really was that there was a lot of things that were uncovered.
So the murder of this girl uncovered a whole slew of criminality.
Yes. And then amongst other things, it was poisoning, it was Muti, a lot of things. So in that article in Sunday Independent, they raised the fact that, the 2 albino kids were supposed to be sold for 2 million to Eswatini National.
Who is selling these people, Martin?
Sipo is the one who's selling these two albino kids. And apparently these 2 albino kids were the kids of the former wife of Sipo.
Sipom Kash, as we know, he's charged with the murder of Hillary Gardee.
Yes, the Sipo, one of the 3.
Yeah, one of the 3.
Yes, and apparently the other former wife, Cecilia Sibia, who apparently died in 2019. They say investigations are progressing in a form of finding out if Sipo was indeed behind the murder of Cecilia, as she was poisoned. So therefore, that as well will be investigated. And besides that, there are a lot of things that happen in this case. Another suspect, Philemon Lukele,
yes,
who apparently is a friend of Sipo,
yes,
who owns guest houses in Mpumalanga.
Yeah, that houses students.
Yes, that house students. Apparently this guy as well, was found with doing sex orgies with university girls in those guest houses.
Are you saying these guys were doing sex parties, sir?
Yes, according to Sunday Independent. I mean, they say these girls were dragged along the process. And
so sexual assault, essentially.
Yes, sexual assault, essentially. And these students were housed in those 3 guest houses
that are owned by now the accused.
Yes, but apparently those 54 students, that were housed there, University of Mpumalanga had to terminate it following these allegations of Philemon being a suspect to this murder. So is that as well. And then the other thing, amongst those guest houses that house students, I think Hillary's company was involved in terms of assisting students with IT connections, those Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Yes. So it seems, they had probably close relationships as for some reason she was assisting those guest houses, assisting students in those guest houses that house students.
Yes, as we've already said, Hillary was a businesswoman. She owned a company called IZL Distributions.
Yes. And then besides that,
So wait, before you move on, Martin, what you are pointing to, this article alleges a connection between Lukele and Hillary via the fact that she was responsible for internet connections around the area.
Yes, because what Hillary was doing basically was assisting those guest houses with those housed students with IT connection, Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So it wasn't in connection to the university because university was connected to their guest houses.
Oh, so Hillary was working directly with the owners of these guest houses, and one of them being Philemon.
Yes. And then besides that, the security who was working in one of those guest houses apparently was killed a few days prior to the killing of Hillary, as they say. The security saw something that he was not supposed to see. So it's part of the information that we discovered in the Sunday Independent article. And the other thing that we discovered is that Moses Zita, who is the boyfriend of Hillary, was tortured by the police. Apparently was kidnapped and tortured by the police in a farm that is close to Nelspruit.
So this is an attempt to solving this matter. They were...
Yes, I think it was in an attempt to find if maybe the girlfriend was involved in any way.
The boyfriend,
Yes, the boyfriend.
Yeah, and I think, Martin, over and above that, these other three suspects have alleged torture as well. So it looks like the police were using these methods to try and extract information from this.
Yes, probably they were using the method across to see if maybe they can get information that will lead to, you know, discovery of what happened exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, another thing, you know, the third suspect, who is Albert Mduduzi Gama, who's apparently a security guard and a bouncer. This guy as well, you know, was a suspect in the story.
Yes. So how does he link to any of these suspects actually? Mduduzi?
Apparently, this Mduduzi guy was working directly with Lukele Philemon. Yes.
So these guys know each other. As we've already said, Lukele and Sipho are friends. They even went to vets together.
Yes,
that we know. And also now you are telling us that not just Lukele and Phil and Sipho, they are also connected to the third suspect.
Yes, who is Albert Mduduzi Gama.
I mean, these are wild allegations, and I think what this article has kind of like showed, it has like opened a Pandora's box.
Yeah, more like a can of worms.
Yeah.
You know, and then what wild about this whole thing was the 59-year-old who came through and say in 2017, Sipho came to his house accusing his wife that his wife is owing him a lot of money, and the guys insisted that he asked Sipho how much.
Yes.
And then Sipho didn't disclose that figure. And then later that night, he said two people came into his house with balaglavs.
Yes. So
and hand gloves, which is balaglavs. I think is those things that you cover your face.
Yes.
And then they shot him twice in the head. This happened in 2017 after Sipho came to the house during the day by accusing his wife about
owing him and stuff.
Yes.
So it appears to me that this Sipho guy is a criminal. He's at least an alleged an alleged criminal, because he has been linked with all sorts of things, at least according to this Independence article. But Martin, what I'm interested in, and I've heard all this information, like, how does this connect to Hillary? Like, who gave us all this information? Do we know the source that the Independence is referencing in the article?
Yes. You know, part of the source is, you know, the Sangoma.
So a Sangoma.
Yes, a Sangoma allegedly phoned the police after Mkazo reportedly failed to pay him for cleansing. So apparently, Sipho wanted to pay the Sangoma with one of the albino. And then the Sangoma refused and said, you know what, I don't want the albino, I want my money. And the Sangoma called the police to say, Sipho want to pay me with an albino so then I can use the albino for Muti. I don't want that, I want my money.
So the Sangoma is literally the one who blew this case open.
Yes, because now the Sangoma put out the issue of, you know, the albino, and then the whole thing just
blew open.
Yes, that's where we discovered that, you know, Sipho was married to Cecilia Sibia,
and all of these things.
Yes, and all these things.
Due to poisoning. So, guys, this
story is uncovering a lot of
things, and you know, I hope, you know, her death won't be in vain. And I think Hillary is literally fighting from the grave, and all these unsolved crimes that reportedly happened or are alleged to have happened, I hope, as a result of her, you know, her murder, painful murder, early, you know, departure from this life. I hope as a result of that we reach conclusion to who killed Cecilia, who shot the poor man, and those albino kids, they will be secured and nothing will happen to them. You know, so I hope all of these things get really, you know, they exhume Cecilia's body, they do a toxicology report, and then find out whether that thing was ingested or was it actually food poisoning.
Yes.
And actually, I think it should be standard procedure that when someone dies under, you know, questionable situations, we should do further investigations.
Yeah, we should always do further investigation because we might uncover things that were covered for a very long time. So yes, I think in all honesty, we should always do further investigations.
Yeah, I hope the forensic people that are pathologists that are responsible for all of these, man, get to the bottom of what happened to Cecilia and all the other alleged victims. And honestly, Martin, that's for me when I was reading this article and preparing the show, what really made me scared was the fact that these guys were responsible for 54 students. The care of 54 students was given to people who are career criminals.
Yes,
which really leads to like the vetting process. Or who are we giving these kids to in terms of these guest houses? Because usually how these houses get paid for is that the school will approve them and then NSFAS will pay those guest houses directly. I think you mentioned that there was sex orgies and students.
Yes. I think that's the painful part because they say the students were also intoxicated to be engaged into those activities of sex orgies.
Yeah, so I think our universities need to do better, man, when it comes to vetting people who
Yes, I think they should do a thorough process of vetting to see if our students are not under some danger of any sort.
And I think it should not only just be like a vetting process when we want to confirm you. It should be an ongoing process. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There should be inspections.
Yeah, to check if maybe they are complying to this. Yeah.
But yeah, that's an update, guys, for you on the Hillary situation. May her soul continue to rest in peace, Martin. Do you have anything you want to add on the story?
I think it's dead, and then I just want to say I hope they find the suspects and then they do what they have to do with the justice because this is not nice for our community.
No, not at all. Not at all. But